Our next and biggest hurdle in phase two is trying to be efficient and effective in new business and renewal quoting. So, we're going to dive deep into how to not only limit reshops, but also how to be most efficient on any type of quoting, because it is one of the things that can take up quite a bit of time. Quotes are where you can shine and be efficient. The best use of our time is to quote quickly and efficiently. And there are different types of quotes. There's remarketing quotes and new business quotes that we're going to handle in this next section. We're going to start off with reshops because it is one of the things you want to try to minimize as much as possible. The fewer that we have to do, the less time or the more time that we have to serve our customers. Remember, remarketing is the last resort. It's not the first resort. If someone asks to be reshopped, we have to come up with the idea that we don't have to. We can say that we're going to review your account and get back to you. We don't have to automatically reshop someone. And the idea is that you're going to get back to them with your recommendation. So understand that we train people that they need to be reshopped. When we need to really train them, we need to review them and come up with options. Think of a remarket as a new client. We need to update all underwriting questions. It's not good enough to take that old application and just go ahead and put it through a rater or just go out to market. We need to get updated information because as things change, the appetite might change. Find opportunities to better insure them. A reshop should also be an opportunity for improvement, not just a decrease in premium. We don't need to ask, we just quote and present. This also means account rounds as well, or cross-selling. The biggest discount they're missing is by adding their home to their auto or auto to their home. We should by all means present that to them. And we should provide people options so they feel empowered. While you might reshop somebody, you can also talk to them about just changing their deductible or taking away some endorsements. If they have a couple cars, they might not need towing. So those are the things you need to have conversations with, but you only can do that when you really know the client. Every new policy should be treated the same. And what that means is that if it's new to the agency, we should have the same philosophy no matter what, that we're going to take good care of them and get all the underwriting information. The idea is, though, that we can remarket the client live on the phone, especially in personal lines and for small commercial BOPs. The larger stuff would be more difficult, but your plan A should be on the phone. And let the plan A not work and then get off the phone. The idea is we can. We might not think we can, but we can. Even if we can't, we have to set a time to review options with the client. So for example, if it's a complicated account, we should say, I'm going to go look at your options. Can I get back to you tomorrow afternoon? There should always be a confirmed time and date. The reasons for this are, it should be within 24 hours unless it's large commercial. Upset clients will not wait. And we can never email or remarket quote. We need to set a time to review options and get to yes. The other thing is by setting a time, it helps you prioritize. Take someone like me, for example. I'm often on the road, so it's difficult for me to have a phone call. If you got to me and said we were going to reshop me, you might get till next Friday before I can talk to you again. But if we have a time and set up, now you can prioritize my quote, not rush around and do it just because you think you have to. Here's a remarketing script on how we can go ahead and educate people on what a reshop is and if they really want it. Let me educate you on how a remarket works. We do find another market, they will send an inspector to your home to review the property. You'll have to complete any recommendations they make to ensure that they stay on your account. This could be as small as a bit of paint or as big as a new roof. Another item I want to confirm with you is that your new market will require a down payment to get started. Your current market will continue with a new monthly payment. I always like to alert people before we begin. The best tips to reduce remarketing are to get proactive and call every client for an annual review to help control the conversation and ask them first. This is a whole 6-month program where we get clients on board to be proactive versus reactive. For the time being, we're just going to focus on doing reshops over the phone, but it is something we can consider in the future. Let's talk about a new business quote. How can we make those efficient? The first step is using your resources. Things like Zillow, the tax assessor's website, commercial client websites. Confirm information, don't ask. One way to be efficient is to say, is this right, I show this, so people can say yes, yes, no, no, versus having to think too hard. You'd be surprised how much this can streamline a quote. Then you have to think, are you an underwriter or a salesperson? Obviously, we want to attract the right kind of business to the agency, but oftentimes people who think too much like an underwriter can over question a client. Salespeople look to get the quote out, even with assumed information, to be clarified once the client responds, which means that you can assume certain things to keep the quote moving fast and efficient on the phone. Once they say yes, you can tighten up the bolts a little bit. Remember, it's a quote, it is not something firm, it's an estimation. So we have to get good at leaning on that and tightening things up after. Underwriters work for perfection to release a quote, and that helps kill a sales closing ratio. What can we quote over the phone? Monoline auto, renters, umbrella, small box, home and auto packages. What can't we quote over the phone? Let's talk about that today and why. As for the business, is the most efficient form of follow up. So if I end every sales call with, let's get you on EFT or what date do you want to get this started? That helps me stop my follow up. Follow ups can often bog salespeople down. We also want to think as salespeople to get to a no so you can move on. If the person's not interested, we need to understand that to take it off our list of people to continue to follow up with. Leave an agreed upon plan of next steps. Every sales transaction has a date and time associated with when we're going to follow up again. We're next going to talk about seasonality, but for this next 2 weeks, we need to get everybody working to quote over the phone. It's okay if it doesn't feel smooth or feels a little clunky to begin with, but it will change as time goes on and you get better at it.